Hey everyone, happy Monday. Alright, so I started off the new week with a really cool new background. I love the lighting, but it's time for a little something different, something really, really summery. So I picked a fun beach one actually. Alright, so I wanted to talk today about the scale. Scales, while helpful, while they bring a numeric measure to our progress or lack thereof, scale weight is really kind of stupid. And I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way as me with this. And now some of you may have some stories and anecdotes to be able to back this up, but how many of you have been there and you've gone to the doctor's office, right? To, get your basic measurements and everything like that, your height, your weight, they just run through the whole regular physical examination each year, and they're like, scale weight's up a little bit from last year, or maybe you're lucky and it stayed the same, or maybe you're doing awesome and it's less than last time. But usually that moment after they take your scale weight, they're like, and then whatever comment ensues. So doctors really only have that scale weight to as a basis of what how you've done with that area of your wellness, and it's really actually, when you get right down to it, a pretty poor measurement. Unfortunately, it's one of the only ones that they can gather during that time with you during a physical, to be able to gauge how your weight's been doing. All right. So why is it a poor measurement? For a female, one of the major reasons is actually water weight. So water weight, that's like a whole nother live broadcast itself, a whole nother article, a whole nother slew of knowledge. But it needs to be addressed here because there's just so many things that can influence water weight. And water weight, I didn't even think of that. That's really funny. Okay, anyhow, so water weight fluctuates for females in your middle, and basically based on your cycle is a really, really big one. A lot of people, not like 100%, but a good percentage of women in their younger years, in their fertile years, are going to gain a few pounds just before that time, and even during. You tend to lose that extra water weight once everything is done and you're like free and clear. Your hormones have now balanced out in a way that it's like, okay, you're you're not really going to be gaining that water for another 2 weeks until coming up to your next one, right? Okay, so you release the fluid that has been building up in order to prepare you for becoming pregnant. That's basically what's happening. And then you release the fluid when it's like, okay, I'm not. All right. So obviously that's where a lot of that extra liquid that we then expel, that's why it's there. That's why it's all accumulated. Okay. And it makes sense if you think about it that way, in regards to your cycle. But when you're trying to lose weight and you're certainly not trying to become pregnant, well, that's where it's like, okay, why is this so frustrating? Why has my weight gone up even though I've done everything right? It is very frustrating, but you have to keep in mind that that is something that will occur each month, every month. So when you are taking your scale weight and you are deciding that, okay, I am going to weigh myself to see how I've done, be very, very strategic with it. All right, wait until after you're free and clear of that week of not so greatness. All right, wait until that is done, and then you'll be able to get much more of an accurate measurement. The week after is okay too. The week after that, especially if you haven't made much progress or you're taking on a path of very slow progress, you're probably not going to see a big change. If you see a change, you may see an increase, and that's water weight. Water weight goes away off and on its own. Another thing that can lead to water weight issues is if you had a really long workout and a really exhausting workout. Okay, your muscles are fatigued. They are going to go into a cycle of repair. They are going to take on some of the water that you've ingested in order to put a protective padding around. Let's say I was really, really going crazy with an upper body workout and my bicep is sore. Okay, what's going to happen is the water that you've ingested during your workout and afterwards there's going to be some extra water in here. You feel it in inflammation. That's water. That's water pressing up on things. Okay, you're going to feel that. And what it's doing is it's putting a protective outer coating to keep your muscles from having more of an injury once the proteins can then be recruited to help repair and make your muscle stronger, okay? So, yes, if you are aching after a strenuous task of any sort, that is water retention. Your weight will go up. Water weight, not fat weight, okay? All right. And then certain foods, and everybody is different with this. Everybody's digestive systems are so different, and that's what makes this whole thing really tricky. Is everybody's going to be more sensitive to certain foods than other people too. So certain foods you're going to notice, you're going to feel inflammation in the intestinal tract area. You're going to feel bloated when you eat certain things, okay? At least most people have this problem with at least some foods, okay? If not some, more serious things or more serious issues with that. So, pay attention to what those things are and either limit them or eliminate them if you don't care about them, all right? But yes, inflammation can definitely happen on the inside with your internal organs also, thus causing additional water weight gain, okay? Some people are more sensitive to carbs. They will hang on to more of the water in those carbohydrate cells until they can get released and burned, okay? Definitely a real thing. Okay, so back to the original topic at hand. Scale weight is stupid because of the fluctuations that we cannot control, okay? From the factors that we cannot control with how much we ingest and burn off, all right? So, what are better ways, oh my gosh, English, here we go. What are better ways to keep track of your progress of fat loss? Because obviously that's why we're doing this whole weight loss thing, is we're trying to lose fat, okay? It's not good to lose all your water. You get dehydrated then. Fat loss, all right? Fat loss has to do with calories in and calories out. Calories eaten, calories burned, all right? That's it. There is nothing more to it. All this water weight nonsense, it's a totally different topic that includes different systems in our body that are definitely needed and definitely required, but not that we can control and not that have to do with fat loss, okay? All right, so what should we do instead? All right, think of it this way. So one of the reasons why you're looking to lose weight, burn fat, is to improve your appearance. Of course, there's a slew of other reasons too, but one of the major ones really is to improve your appearance, to improve your self-concept of yourself, to improve what you look like so that you're more attractive, that you're more confident, that you're happier walking out of the house in shorts, okay? All those things that come back to the self-concept of how you think you look, all right? So, one of the things that fat loss does improve, kind of regardless of water weight and those other kind of issues, is circumference measurements. All right, circumference measurements are a big deal. There are a lot of them. You can start from neck and go all the way down to, well, if you want, your ankles or your calves. All right, you can take a couple on your arms. Your wrist measurement is one that doesn't change, so it's used as like a static measure of comparison when trying to get like a body fat percentage. You can do your chest and your bust. You can do your waist is an important one. Belly button is good too. Hips, all right, thighs, absolutely. Just all of that. You take all of those measurements. I know it sounds like a lot, but here's what you do. Because fat loss is not a targeted thing. You cannot continue to do just ab workouts and expect yourself to lose all of your belly fat. It does not work that way. Fat loss is proportional. Some weeks you'll lose it a little bit in your arms. Some weeks you'll lose a little bit in your legs. Hopefully most, if not all weeks, if you're really being good about everything, you'll lose a little bit around your midsection, okay? So every few weeks, take all of those measurements. Something, if you're being real good about working out and about your calorie intake, you will see progress. Regardless of where you are in your cycle, regardless of what kind of other things may be increasing inflammation of some sorts, okay? You're going to see that. And you know what that results in? Two things. Clothing sizes. You lose those inches around, like here especially, your clothing size is going to decrease. Maybe not right away, but after a few months, you're going to start to see it if you've been very good, okay? Clothing sizes are a huge measurement factor that we use to see progress. Wow, what a difference, all right? Oh my gosh, I suddenly fit from a size 12 down to a size 8. That's like a big, big deal, all right? Now, that circumference and those clothing things and those clothing measurement or clothing size decreases, then go to what we look like in the mirror, whether clothed or not. That's how other people are going to see us, based on what we see in the mirror. All right, that becomes one of the most powerful things. Are we becoming happier with what we see? All right, those should be the true measurements. After that, then go to the scale. Then see if there's a difference. All right, and then go to a physical. And okay, so maybe the scale measurement reflects, I don't know, a small change in weight. Doctor's like, okay, I see there's a little bit of progress here. You still need to lose X amount of weight. You could go back. You could still come back to that doctor and be like, well, some of this is probably muscle weight. I'm doing strength training. I'm definitely more muscular. I'm definitely stronger. Oh, and by the way, I lost 3 dress sizes. Suddenly, I think you're going to make them stop and see, oh, you really are taking steps to improve your health. Oh, you really are taking steps. Well, see, I haven't seen it in a year. Okay? You're now giving them additional feedback as to the justification of the steps you already are taking. All right? Important stuff. Okay? Blood panel tests, actually, that should reflect it too. Right? So, I mean, that's another measurement, not certainly a very pleasant one, and I'm not really qualified to talk about what the differences are and what to look for, but, you know, those triglyceride levels, those cholesterol levels, those can all decrease as well. All right, so I just wanted to go into that a little bit and talk to you about why we shouldn't always use the scale for our primary source of measurement. All right, so take that knowledge and start to apply it. See how much better it makes you feel. Thank you.